So I have no disclosures. Today, as Emily said, I'm going to talk a bit about basal cell carcinomas and ablative fractional laser. So for basal cell carcinomas, two important informations. It's a very common cancer form, especially in fair-skinned people. And it's highly dependent on the hedgehog pathway, which has led to the development of hedgehog pathway inhibitors such as vismodegib for specific treatment of basal cell carcinomas. Meanwhile, for AFL, we have previously shown that AFL can drive an immune activation and can also actually decrease hedgehog pathway signal activity, and it can clear BCC tumors, in some cases at least, and it can also activate a wound healing response. So what we wanted to do is we wanted to look into microscopic BCC tumors and to see the expression profiles, especially in response to treatment with ablative fractional laser and vismodegib. In this murine model of BCC tumors, we had 4 intervention groups: healthy skin, skin with BCC tumors treated with 1 application of ablative fractional laser, and tumor skin treated with a total of 8 applications of vismodegib topically in a formulation we have previously developed. The outcome measures were by RNA sequencing. We had differentially expressed genes and related analyses. So just to help you with this figure, if you're not used to this kind of information, each line in this figure represents 1 gene. Red means it goes up relatively, and blue means it goes down. They've been grouped in 3 groups. The upper group in brown is extracellular matrix genes and specific genes relating to hedgehog pathway activity. The middle part is genes that are related to the immune response, and the latter part are extracellular matrix proteins related to wound healing response. And in one way to read this model, this figure, you can see to the upper left, you can see moving from healthy samples to BCC samples, you see a strong increase in genes related to the hedgehog pathway, not surprisingly, as it's important for BCCs. So what you can also see is that ablative fractional laser actually partially reverts this BCC expression profile. It also induces a strong immune activation, and it induces a wound healing response. Looking at the information in another way, we can see that induction of BCCs mostly increases expression of genes, 277 genes in total. When then looking at the 2 different intervention treatments, vismodegib and ablative fractional laser, which genes do they downregulate? We can see for vismodegib, we see a total of 108 genes of the 277 genes are downregulated, while for ablative fractional laser, the same number is 59 here. So for the next slide, we try to delve deeper into the immune response. We use the expression profiles to look at which kinds of immune populations have infiltrated the tissue. And when you look at this plot, I can say big blobs means high significance, and red means upregulation, blue of course down. So what you can see is that induction of BCCs doesn't really change the immune infiltration of the tissue, whereas the 2 treatments both increase the immune infiltration strongly, especially for monocytes, neutrophils, and macrophages. But if we then look at how is vismodegib compared to ablative fractional laser, you can see to the right, we can see that it's much lower for all kinds of cells. So 1 treatment of ablative fractional laser is more potent in this manner than 8 applications of vismodegib. The lower part is just showing you a few of the most common markers for flow cytometry that we picked out from the genes, showing that markers for neutrophils and macrophages are also upregulated by these 2 treatments, supporting our conclusion. So in conclusion, what we see is that ablative fractional laser is the most potent of the 2 treatments for induction of immune response. For reversal of the BCC profile, we see that the specific inhibitor vismodegib is better. But remember, the tumors are still there. It's not a clinical response at this point. It's just that within 4 days, you change some of the gene expressions. And then uniquely for ablative fractional laser, you see a wound healing response. So to us, this study reveals the many facets of laser treatment and also supports the role of ablative fractional laser for treatment of at least basal cell carcinomas and keratinocyte carcinomas in general. Thank you for your time, and thank you to my group.